Good morning. Oh, shit. I got, this guy's gonna be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 o'clock now. I woke up. I went up, so I went on the other side of the house and have a nice comfy bed that I haven't really been able to get to since I've been rearranging my house. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. I gotta have to get those Brock out of that house with his cousin. But and turn into a crack house. I guess since I had called the police about that one guy trespassing, they went and told them that, oh well, it's a silver thing. We have to take him to court. So anyway, Brock hadn't paid since he had that heart attack in November last year, and he wasn't even living there. So anyway, the lighting in this room, but anyway, so they're gonna have to get out because I can't stand them. And the police act like they don't have to pay rent. The advice they give, I'm so disgusted with this whole. They just made a whole joke, a democracy out of it. There's no. This neighborhood is so sad. And the guy that one guy that's staying in the house right across the street, the bus stops to pick up the kids. And so you can't tell them that, this guy's a pervert pedophile. You can't tell them anything like that. Not to these good Christians, because they're double binding hypocrites. So, like, in other words, they say one thing, but they do another thing. Like, they'll like, oh, well, I'm against sex before marriage, and none of them are married, and they got about 6 kids, but, well, or at least 3, and each one got it. I don't know, they each got a different father, and you can't make any friends with the ladies here because either they're gonna try to throw their breasts up in front of you like you play with these, or push your head to the breast, like, stuff like that. Weird stuff. When I first came up here with some of the people, I was like, ew, and it's all sprung from their first relationships or their first sexual experience was basically a rape. So anyway, the only way the only way that you can really like have a conversation with them is like there's like only like 2 things you could talk about: sports or sex. Anything else makes them mad. Like if you don't like if they like, well, I don't know what's wrong with my kid. I don't know why my kid doesn't learn. I'm like, it's probably would help if taught them something. They're like, I sent them to school. I sent them to school, but that's what I sent them to school for. And they don't have to teach them in school because here, like it's the victim's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my fault that that guy just broke in the house really and's living in there. It's my fault the way the police are around here. So really, as far as I'm concerned, we don't need no fucking police unless you. And the only reason you need them for around here, unless you're looking for some crack, or you looking for to buy some pussy, or buy a butt, you know. And like they kill me because they act like there's no male prostitutes when that's basically the only thing these women over here could raise. Like there's one lady over here on Gillis, right across from my house. Her son, I guess he finished, his training in juvenile. 2 of her sons. You'll never see him with a woman, and for some reason, he's like he's a lot younger than me. But for some reason, every woman wants him, and it just makes him so mad. He ready. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna do this. She beat the fuck out of those kids and then just sent them off with strangers. You know what I'm saying? And she never did think about what the results of the children were going to be she didn't think about what the kids were gonna look like, because half of her kids look one way, and you could tell that, and then she the last part of her kids, I think she had about 14. But with the last man she had, he was dying of cancer, had a trachea. That's when she got smart and got someone that was dying. But anyway, she actually had like a couple of kids with him. So he um probably had some sperm that was affected by whatever was causing him to wither away and die. So those last two boys, but they went to juvenile. They never gonna have a job because they never have had a job. So it's like they went to school all those years. They didn't get trained to get a job. They got trained to go to jail. So they went to juvie, and you know and it's well documented here. They was just sexually and physically abusing the kids. So he really hates women, and I guess they started this shit about us older women supposed to be cougars and want young guys. That's some bullshit. That's right along with the bullshit about I want to wear stilettos. I was cracking up laughing when they started that. All daytime ladies was like, "Oh, we're wearing stilettos." They're talking about this shit. All these girls running around here wearing that stuff, and it's fine to wear stilettos if you just I don't even know how you could drive a car, because if that heel gets underneath that gas pedal, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna be able to. Anyway, or if it gets or the heel gets underneath the brake, you won't be able to brake the way it is. So you can't wear them while you're driving, and you really, I could probably walk in any shoes. Actually, I have, but I don't think I ever walked in stilettos, you know. But there's never any reason. And I'm short too. So most of the people like that put on those like those stilettos with the big heels, the long heels. They're already like 5'11" or something. So they'll put them on, and so then like like somebody like me, it just comes below their crouch. Anyway, I don't know. I gotta go back to sleep. So. But I'm not looking forward to being around people tomorrow. Actually, if I had my way, I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't be bothered with none of these people. I would. I would. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even leave this fucking yard. But um, these motherfuckers. It's just like Rob. I stopped talking to him because every time you try. Oh, my neighbor's looking at us across the street. The fool's sitting on the porch, you know. And so like if you're like, well, like if you tell them like, well, you're a little paranoid, always thinking somebody looking at you. So they have to try. You say that hurts them. Words hurt them so much. So, he's in severe pain. So this bitch was peeking in my fucking kitchen window, and then they have to let you know they was peeking in, because that's part of you being paranoid, right? So he's like, honey mustard, because I mixed up some honey mustard dressing. I use real yellow mustard and real honey, and um um he's like, and I'm like, well, you go to McDonald's, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you get chicken nuggets, right? Like, yeah. And I'm like, can you name the different sauce? Because you got the barbecue, and then you got like whatever else, and then you have the honey mustard. He goes, all at once, you can see sparks come out. He just to him, and then that really pisses them off, because like that was the whole joke. But the thing is that they cannot comprehend. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you cook fast. Well, you go in that restaurant or McDonald's or something, you're not gonna, they don't want to wait 2 minutes, but they want the shit hot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't really use the microwave a lot because it makes the food taste nasty. Or and there's certain stuff, if I buy microwave food, then it's for the microwave, but I really don't buy it because I can't afford it. They went up on the prices of food. So, you know, and anyway, I'm going to go back to sleep. I gotta get, cause I'm in the back bedroom, so I'm not gonna hear shit in the morning. He's gonna be here at 8, and I don't I didn't I didn't bring my clock. Well, actually, the clock is just not on the wall because it makes it makes too much noise. So it's in the hallway. But anyway, they'll wake and you won't be able, they won't be able to wake me up. So I gotta go to sleep. It's gonna be a horrible day. I don't know who mowed the grass. So I don't know. Oh well, I'll just have like I got about like 2 or 3 days where I'll have to actually be around some of these people. I'm at the point where I just don't like being around them. I just get tired. You know, you know what I'm saying. I just get tired of them. So and let me tell you, I hate to say it, but like yesterday was Sunday. I try to stay the fuck out their way because on Sunday when they all dressed up and they all like when they get dressed up they start acting like, oh, I'm so much better, oh, and when you think you're white and look at me, I'm like, I don't know where these so-called African Americans, but when we was Negroes and black, you know what I'm saying, I didn't have to look at you motherfuckers and feel so sad for your children. I mean, the kids don't know shit. The kids don't stand a chance. And I'm looking at the parents now that are my age, the guys that are 50 or 60. Like Jerry, there's one girl. I guess she was. I went with Jerry up to Tom's, and I guess like all the women, like the guy's gonna make money off of you. You know what I'm saying? So she was up there. I guess she was broke again. She does hair, but the only reason why I don't want her to do my hair is because I can't afford it. But anyway, um, so she was up there and she was flirting with Jerry. Well, I guess I shouldn't mention names, so I won't go into. Well, he's been doing coke so long. I mean, come on. I mean, Jerry's cool and everything, but he just put his head up and he walked away from her and everything, and I was like, that's Jerry Strong, and she just fell out laughing, and that's the only time they're nice if they and when they're out there selling their body. I'm like, this is ridiculous. There's no other choices. There's no other choices. That's America. And the Arab guy, let me tell you, there's Arab guys up here. Um, when I was up in Holly Springs, anyway, when I first went up there, a couple of them, like, I had been in New York, and they were like, oh man, if I had known you was coming up here, because one guy had just married to some white girl. Oops, and married, hello, I married some white girl, and he goes, like, 4 months earlier, he goes, I would have waited 4 months. I would have married him. Let me tell you, the Arabs over here, they cheered on 9/11 that first time that happened. There's no black business owners. The only time, so I know right now that's what I had a dream about, that we were probably going to go to war, and pretty safe in Memphis. They're not gonna, what I mean, there's gonna be some place where because the Republicans is is in big, they get a lot of their money from corporations that have massive interests in the Middle East, and our currency is now based on the price of oil. And our dollar is crude oil, basically no longer in gold we trust. So they are going, and they stimulate the economy usually in the past. If you just look at just past history, it's always been war. Them, and so they're gonna bomb someplace. I'm probably wrong, but it's gonna be an all white area because nobody. Look at New Orleans. They were just gonna they didn't care. When we had that Katrina, so it's always gonna be an all white area. That's the only thing the media is gonna cover, and they want big coverage. But like I was gonna say over here, that these guys right here, they they were probably pointing their guns at our militaries, but they could get business and they could get a loan. So no, you can't. No black. There's one black business here, Caldwell, and the police almost ran him off because his little daughter-in-law, who's not allowed to help out in the store no more, she started calling the police on the guys outside. Now, because she's programmed, Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of black guys. So they just like, everybody just hangs out in the house next door. You know, that wants to hang out over there, but they cut their business all out. And then like since like his money was getting funny, sometimes but Caldwell's been there a long time. I think they were getting ready to open up their. They used to have a daycare, which I don't know what happened to the daycare soon. Well, a lot of the black business has just been devastated, and then they moved into Vietnamese. See, they have to totally destroy the black community, then they move in like the Vietnamese when they came from, like after Vietnam, and then now we got the Arabs up in here running the business. And those guys is just those guys is they nasty. They bring a bunch of nasty diseases up here. And the reason why and they do and because they think like they think all these women are nasty. You know what I'm saying? I because like for the longest time, like Tom's like, oh yeah, well, anytime you want to call me, I'll fuck you. I'm like, I keep that in mind. And I think about like 5 years in, and he telling me that he just finally had an epiphany that I'm not gonna call you, you fool. And he got mad, so we had a misunderstanding. And he kicked me out of his store. So I just didn't go to the store for a while. And then when Tony came back from the Middle East, you know, um, Tony, I've been knowing him a long time. He's cool. To him, like I'm not a problem because I ain't never caused no problems. You know, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Tony was good. He's trying to. The police put a bug in his ear, so he's running around. Everybody's a thief, but the only people that was a thief is, well, actually the people that he likes the best, like Larry Shaw. Oh, I should name names. Well, anyway, he sells crack. He gets all his crack pretty much from like the police department. Because like what they do is like I haven't seen it did in a while. Of course, I haven't been up there. They'll have these guys that was in jail or whatever. And they're supposed to be cleaning up the yard. They'll come in there and like they'll go and like stash some stuff. And to me, it's pretty obvious because um and then like they don't even finish the work and leave. You know, they make a lot of money off of destroying like the neighborhood. Like the city comes out and mow. Like I would call the dog catcher and see if they get when she was young, see if they get the dog a good home. But they kill in this state after 3 days. They kill them, and plus the dog catchers around here, they never caught not one wild animal. They always catch people's pets. And it is on TV and everything else, which just makes them madder. So then they take more pets. So you can't win here. And but all the guys that are working and the dog catcher, they just came out of prison, and you know, they got. I don't know how they rehabilitate them, but as far as I'm concerned, they could keep the motherfuckers whatever they train them to do because they come out they're useless. They cannot do the job that hire them to do. They like to tear up shit, and the ones that are still that like this one that's gonna mow my grass, he's really trying, but there's no job for him. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna hire him, you know. So anyway, except for me, he's gonna mow the lots. So, he, anyway, he's I don't know, trying to keep him honest, but it's really a very sad city, very sad. But I feel it in the wind that you know the stock market's like I've never seen it up that high. So I never, it's just in the wind because of the history, you know. Anyway, let me go back to sleep. I'm gonna be sorry that I just can't find my alarm clock. That's all that's gonna be. Well, anyway, I gotta get up. Tomorrow's Monday. I gotta run to the bank so I can pay due. I'm not going to use their ATM machine. I'm not going to get any money up here out of the ATM machine and have to walk through a whole bunch of people that are in their 50s, 60s years old and been on crack since 1970. It's very sad. Well, 1977, that was like the big year here when they were like, oh, I guess marijuana went illegal, right? So they were smart. They got smart. Cocaine out of your system in 3 or 4 days. Well, it's been 3 or 4 decades. Good night. See if I get some sleep, and I won't be. Hopefully, I won't have no dream. Oh, I guess like it's gonna be. It's gotta be California, right? Because of their water disasters and everything else. I don't know. We'll see. Because like you never know, but every once in a while, it's gonna fester up, and you know that something's gonna happen because there really is a big war going on in the Middle East. There really is. Oh well. And they good night.